I saw something I wasn't supposed to, and it changed how I see my husband. I wasn't snooping. I swear I was if I hadn't walked into the garage that night looking for a roll of packing tape. I probably would have gone the rest of my life believing everything about my marriage was exactly what it seemed. But instead, I saw something I was never supposed to see, and now I can't unsee it. For context, my husband and I have been married for almost 9 years. He's always been the quiet, dependable type, the kind of guy who fixes things around the house without being asked, and remembers to put gas in my car when it's running low. He works long hours at an engineering firm. I work remotely, so I'm usually home more than he is. Our life is stable, predictable, comfortable, honestly, sometimes a little boring. But I always thought boring meant safe until last Thursday night. He had come home later than usual, not suspiciously late, just later than normal. Said there was a project deadline and his team stayed behind to finish it. Nothing weird about that. We ate dinner, watched half an episode of some crime show, and he said he needed to grab something from the garage. About 15 minutes later, I realized I needed packing tape for a return package. I was sending the next morning. The tape is usually in a drawer out there, so I went to grab it when I opened the door to the garage. The lights were off, but I could hear him talking, not loudly, more like whispering. I almost called out, but something made me pause. He was standing near the workbench with his back to me, holding his phone close to his ear, and he said something that made my stomach drop. Yeah, I'll take care of it tomorrow. Don't worry about the money. Money, that alone wouldn't be strange. But then he said another line that completely froze me. She still doesn't know anything. My brain instantly went into overdrive. She doesn't know what I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just stood there quietly behind the door frame. He listened for a few seconds and then said, I know, but we agreed not to bring her into this. At that point, my heart was pounding so hard I thought he might hear it. Every terrible possibility started running through my head. Affair, secret debt, something illegal, something dangerous. Then he ended the call. I panicked and quickly stepped back into the hallway so he wouldn't see me standing there. A second later, he walked inside like nothing had happened. Calm, normal, smiling. Hey, he said. Everything okay? And I just stared at him because suddenly, the man I'd known for almost a decade felt like a complete stranger. I barely slept that night. Every little detail replayed in my mind over and over. She still doesn't know. Don't worry about the money. We agreed not to bring her into this. None of it made sense the next morning. He left for work like usual. Kiss goodbye, quick coffee. Same routine, but this time, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. So I did something I've never done before. I checked the garage. I wasn't expecting to find anything. Honestly, I thought I was just being paranoid, but when I opened the bottom drawer of the workbench, I saw an envelope. Inside it were receipts, dozens of them, and every single one was from the same place. A local animal rescue center about 15 minutes from our house. The dates went back almost a year. Donations, food purchases, vet bills, transport costs, thousands of dollars in total. I was completely confused. Why would he hide donations? Then I saw a printed photo tucked inside the envelope, and suddenly everything made sense. The photo showed my husband sitting on the floor of what looked like a small shelter room. Around him were 4 dogs. One had a missing leg. One had patches of fur missing. Another had a cone around its neck. But they were all climbing over him, tails wagging like crazy, and he looked happier than I've ever seen him. There was handwriting on the back of the photo. Thank you for helping us keep the shelter open. I felt this weird mix of emotions hit me all at once. Confusion, relief, guilt, because suddenly those words from the phone call started making sense. She still doesn't know he wasn't hiding something bad. He was hiding something kind. When he came home that evening, I told him the truth. I told him I heard the phone call and that I looked in the garage. For a second, he just stood there completely silent. Then he sighed and rubbed the back of his neck. I wanted to surprise you, he said. Apparently the rescue center had been struggling financially. A friend of his volunteered there and mentioned they might have to shut down, so my husband started quietly helping out, donating, fixing their broken equipment, even driving animals to vet appointments when they didn't have anyone else available for almost a year without telling anyone, including me. I asked him why he kept it a secret. He shrugged. I didn't want it to seem like I was doing it for attention. Then he said something that honestly made me tear up. I just thought those dogs deserved someone in their corner. That night we drove to the shelter together, and when we walked inside, every single dog in that place ran straight to him, like he was their favorite person on earth. I think that's the moment something inside me shifted, because I realized I didn't just see my husband as dependable anymore. I saw him as someone quietly doing good in the world when nobody was watching, and honestly, it changed everything. So now I'm curious, if you were in my position and overheard that phone call, what would you have assumed was going on? Be honest. Would your mind have jumped to the worst case scenario too? Or would you have figured out the truth faster than I did? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to see what everyone thinks.